Hey, it's Hitting Hard with John Chuck. We welcome in. And on today's show, we're going to preview the Atlanta Braves. Opening day is tomorrow, and a couple of records that I think the Braves are going to beat. And also, Tiger Woods is going to make his triumphant return to the Masters tomorrow. What does it mean in the world of golf? It's hard hitting with John Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta. We welcome you into episode 4 of Locked On Sports Atlanta, Hitting Hard with John Chuckery. Please give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We provide you links every day for where the show is. So we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us some likes, give us some reviews. Tell us what you think. We're so glad to have you as part of our audience. Growing every day. We can't thank you enough for being a part of everything that we're doing here at Locked On Sports Atlanta. So always subscribe. Always tell 10,000 of your friends, if you would, to help us out as well. We do want to tell you a little bit about our new friends that we've got with us. It is Shady Rays. They're an independent sunglasses company that gives you the features of $200 sunglasses for just a fraction of the price. That means polarized lenses, well-constructed durable frames, premium high-end finishes. Also, something you're not going to find anywhere else. It's Shady Rays Insane Protection Program. So Shady Rays includes lost and broken protection on every single pair. They're going to send you a brand new pair if you lose them, no matter what happened. Are you hearing me? They're going to send you a brand new pair if you lose them, no matter what. Give them a try. If you don't love them, you pay nothing. It's as simple as that. Plus, 10 meals are donated to fight hunger in America when you shop with Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, if you head to shadyrays.com, that's shadyrays.com, and you use the code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, locked on, you get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's code locked on for their best deal of the season. 50% off 2 or more pairs of Shady Rays sunglasses, backed by over 150,000 verified 5-star reviews. Check them out today. All right, as the Braves get ready for opening day coming up on tomorrow, thought we'd take a look at this upcoming season. Of course, Braves coming off their World Series championship run, and what a miraculous run when you think about the fact that arguably the best young player in baseball, Ronald Acuna Jr., wasn't a part of this. Marcell Ozuna, who they had brought back and given a nice contract to after winning a Silver Slugger as a DH in the National League the previous season, he misses most of the second half of the season, most all of the season, after he had broken his hand and then, of course, had his domestic dispute and was basically held out of the remainder of the Major League Baseball season. So all in all, when you talk about what a great run it was for the Braves, outstanding. Well, now we shift into this year, and it's a new look, new style type of Braves from the sense of Freddie Freeman, the leader, the unquestioned heartbeat and the heart and soul of this organization is gone now. But you replace him with literally the best guy you could go and find. I don't think you could have handpicked or cherry picked a guy better than Matt Olson to come in here. Gold Glove winning first baseman, left-handed power hitter. Maybe doesn't hit for the average that Freddie does, but he's got every bit the power, every bit the run production, lots of extra base hits, and he gets on base a ton out there. So will the Braves miss Freddie Freeman? Not from what the production is at the, on the field part of it, but I do think that there is a definite loss when you talk about clubhouse and things like that. And why do I say that? Well, for one, you heard Brian Snitker say that when there were things going on or he needed another voice, he would go directly to Freddie Freeman. And Freddie Freeman was his conduit to the remainder of the clubhouse and the other players. He would go directly to him. He would ask his advice, ask him to speak to the team. He would ask all kinds of things out of Freddie Freeman. So we know for a fact that conduit go-between guy was Freddie Freeman between the manager and the players. And I don't know that the Braves have a guy that's like that. This probably falls more on Brian Snitker now to sort of be that leader. You think about all of the guys on the roster and how many guys played for Snitker in the minor league system. Remember, Brian spent so much time in their minor leagues that whether it's Riley or Ozzie or whoever, those guys spent a lot of time with Brian Snitker when they were down on the farm before they came up to the Major League Ball Club. Now it falls on some of your veterans, Duval, Rosario. I know it sounds crazy, but even, Marcell Ozuna, well, he had his issues and all that. Yeah, I understand. But still, Brian Snitker made it pretty clear. He served his penance, he did his time and things like that. And guys are going to, come back on board with him. But I think that missing component of what Freddie means and just the face of the franchise. We talk about when the national games are on Fox and things like that. That's the guy they go to. They mic him up and they do the audio and they put him on the video and they do all this kind of stuff, right? There is that face of what Freddie Freeman brings to this club. But if you look at offensively at this club with Riley at third, with Dansby at short, Ozzie at second, Matt Olson at first, they still have the best infield in Major League Baseball. I don't think there's much dispute. And you think about how good those guys are defensively. Olson's been a Gold Glove winner. Ozzie's terrific at short. Dansby should have a Gold Glove already at shortstop, and Riley has gotten better every single year to where he's made himself one of the best defensive shortstops at third base. So offensively, defensively, they're loaded for bear. They brought back Travis d'Arnaud. They're going to keep William Contreras up, even though that he is probably going to switch some positions. He'll play some outfield or third, or they'll mix him in, and he can be an emergency catcher. He obviously had his issues last year when he came up, but can be an emergency catcher. So they're great at catcher. 2 years ago, d'Arnaud was the Silver Slugger winner. Offensively in the outfield, when you look at once they get Ronnie back, and you mix in Ronnie, and you mix in Duvall, and you mix in Rosario, and you mix in Heredia, and you mix in Ozuna, you mix all those guys in there, and, again, we'll see what the lineup looks like, or more of the outfield jockeying of position looks like, because Ronnie's on the 10-day IL to start the season. No real surprise there. Coming back from, missing all of the second half of last year, coming back off that injury. Not really a surprise or anything like that, but I will be curious to see how Snitker puts the flow of those outfielders together. You would expect Duvall to play center field. You expect probably Rosario in left. Maybe Ozuna plays right. We'll just see what that combination of outfielders looks like. But obviously, when you talk about once you get everybody together and the DH and everything else that goes along with it, Heredia can play, he can play multiple positions in the outfield. As we said, Contreras is going to get some looks out there. They've got plenty of pieces. And then you start looking at the starting pitching. The funny part about the starting pitching is people are having some concerns and worries about your fourth and fifth starters. Can I tell you, in Major League Baseball, that is first world problems. When you have to reach down to fourth and fifth starters, then you're in a really good spot, because you've got Charlie Morton, you've got Max Fried, and you got Ian Anderson. Okay, those three guys can win and keep you in a crap ton of games, and they will. Morton had a great season last year after a really basically mediocre, below par COVID 2020 season. He bounced back nicely, and I thought last year, I said that he'd lead this team in innings and strikeouts, and he did. Max Fried was up and down. Max Fried at some points, especially in the second half of the year, Max Fried in the second half of the baseball season was as good as any pitcher in Major League Baseball. But he had his issues in the first half. He had the injuries in the first half of the season. I expect him to come back and really be the unquestioned leader. He's going to be the opening day starter now. I really think that he's on pace for a good season. And Ian Anderson's just hitting his stride. If he can stay healthy, now he's got a couple of years under his belt. And the bullpen's as good as anybody in baseball. You added Kenley Jansen. If you want to play lefty-righty with your closers and Jansen and Will Smith, you have that availability. Now, Luke Jackson being out is definitely going to hurt. But when you've got guys like Matt Sick and some of these guys that they have trotted out of the bullpen over the last few years, their bullpen is loaded for bear. So everything falls into place for the Atlanta Braves. And one name to keep your eye on, too, Huascar Ynoa. If he can come back and pitch like he did before he broke his hand last year, he's a really valuable piece, and he really bailed the Braves out a lot last year during the season before he broke his hand. And then the dumb thing about breaking his hand and all that stuff, but that's another topic for another day out there. So no reason to think that the Braves aren't still the best team in the National League, even with Kimbrel and Freeman and all the former Braves headed out to LA and this, that, and the other. Remember, we slayed that dragon last year. No reason to think that we can't be the best in baseball. Now, when we get back, we're going to talk about two records that I think the Braves are going to break this year. Two team records that I think the Braves are right in line to break and take care of this year as they make another run for a World Series championship. It's Hitting Hard with John Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.